Hey everyone, welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. As you can see, we are in a new place. We are in the Underbelly, which we just saw at the beginning of, or at the end of our last session. So, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I have no idea what's going on. Got a manufactory. We've got Michela. There's actually some people in here we need to talk to that aren't actually showing up, but let's see who's who. There's a headless man. Okay.
Ready.
Well, if I remember correctly, we had talked to this guy, and he kind of gave us the lay of the land. But you got to be tough to run a business down here, even if your bones are made of glass.
Sure.
Okay, Crooked Keek. Somebody told us to talk to this person. A small, hollow-cheeked mutant sings a soft, wavering tune to herself. Yellow bruises discolor her skin, wounds formed not from violence but from malnutrition, and her prominent bones bend and twist at odd angles. Still she smiles. She smiles at the oily water, devoid of any fish. She smiles as she arranges her empty basket beside her, and she smiles at you when she sees you standing over her. Hello, I'm Crooked Keek of the Cold Canyon tribe. I haven't seen you down here before. I hope you're not here to fish. They're nibbling instead of biting today. She coughs into her cupped hands, a raw and ragged hacking that bends her double. You take her for a child at first, but after studying her features, it's clear that she's in her late teens. It's only some mutation in her bony stature, born of starvation, that makes her seem childlike. Yeah. You said you're part of the Cold Canyon tribe. Are they down here too? No, she says lightly, they're all gone, either dead or gone. She still isn't meeting your eyes. There used to be a lot of us. We came here when I was a baby, running from, she pauses, thinking, a war. But some sort of war that never ends. My parents thought we would be safe here, but the tribe died off one by one. The city is hard on people like us. How is the city hard on your tribe? They were used to living in the wilderness, so they knew what they could eat safely. Here it's not so simple. My mother told me that 10 people died eating tainted food before we found this fishing hole. Then there's diseases you can catch in the city, and the hate. A lot of us were killed just for being hard to look at, I guess. You said everyone in your tribe is dead? Not everyone. I'm here, and some of us just left for better places. I bet they're doing really well. Well, that's sad. You know where I might find a woman named Michela? Michela, she gasps. That's not what people call her. They call her the White Death. She's an assassin. I don't know where she is, and I hope I never do. Your real name is Crooked Keek? Sort of. My parents called me Keek, but the nickname came later. She hunches over, her eyes darting shadily from side to side. It's because I sell junk for high prices, and bribe the levies to carry people off in the night. She laughs. No, not really. People call me Crooked because I look twisted and broken. Do you mind that people call you that? Not really. I can't call them liars, can I? She smiles, but it's not the radiant thing you saw before. No. Why are you scared of Michela? They say, she begins, then drops her voice to whisper, they say she can freeze your blood by speaking your name, and if you look into the eyes, all your hair will turn white. You don't really believe those stories, do you? No, but she is a killer, and I have a soft spot for scary stories. Are you sure you don't mind people that call you Crooked? I do, but I won't be any less crooked if they stop. Why do you think the fish aren't biting? The fish down there are pretty fast and smart. They're nibbling at the bait and swimming away. She watches the line with a combination of hunger and weariness. It's hard for me to get to the pole in time when the rod twitches, and harder to reel in the catch. I'm not very strong. Can I try fishing with your gear? You're welcome to it, only if you do find something, could you share? Never mind, company is better than scrawny fish. Well, that's horrible. Is it as hard for you to survive here as it was for your people? No, I don't have a lot to eat, but I'm more resistant to sickness than my parents were, and people know me here, they leave me alone. Okay. Well, let's see if we can catch her something. The thin glowing thread pierces the surface of the water and plunges deep into the black depths, like a white line drawn in shining ink. Examine the line. Try flicking the shining string and your finger goes right through it. Crooked Keek says, could you try catching something for me? I've had no luck today. Besides, everything down there is pretty much stronger than me. Yeah. Pull on the line and something in the dark below pulls back. You press your lips together and reel in your catch. A muddy cipher dangles from the end of the line. It's beautiful. I was hoping for a fish. I can sell it and eat for weeks. Why would I keep it? That's awful. You pass the cipher to her, and she squinches her eyes shut in unmitigated joy. Thank you. Use my fishing pole whenever you want. Gold tide, right? Raised a small amount. Okay, let's try catching another one. Nothing is on the hook, but you might have better luck tomorrow. Okay. I'm alright with that. Oh, let's go talk to her again. Okay, so she's still got the same thing. Okay, let's see. Let's talk to the cultist here. The cultist glances over at you casually. His eyes widen when they reach your face. I heard you intended to explore the city, but never imagined you'd find your way down here. What an honor. He folds his hands before him. How can I help you, beloved vessel? You tell me what this weird thing is behind you, but... Looking for a woman named Michela. Have you seen her? The Castoff? Not recently, but she does work with Folsom from time to time. He may know where she is. Examine the cultist. The man is pale, dirty, and nervous. He is stealing glances at your tattoo every chance he gets. He flinches when he notices you studying him. Examining him. He fidgets, scratching his oily nose. Okay. Well... That's only so useful. Okay, what else have we got here? I got poppers.
All right.
Who's this guy? Or is that a guy? It might be a woman. It's hard to tell. Farrah, a large and heavily muscled woman, wears what appear to be rags that should have fallen apart ages ago. She looks so tired that it wouldn't be a surprise if she fell asleep on her feet, and yet, when she opens her mouth, her voice is energetic like a little girl who's about to get a present. Hello? Can anyone hear what I'm saying? I can't make this work. Without warning, she slaps herself. I hope no one saw that. Okay. Are you talking to me? Her head swivels awkwardly around as if trying to catch a glimpse of you. Oh, you are. My name is Farrah, champion of the wastes. The woman flinches at the sound of the very different booming voice that came from her own mouth. That's not the name, you stupid thing. It's Farrah, champion of the wastes. Damn. I come from a land you've never heard of. Damn it. I guess I'm not allowed to say. So you aren't Farrah, champion of the wastes? I'm not, but you might as well call me that, or just Farrah. One shoulder shrugs and keeps shrugging. I'm not actually here. I'm talking through her and trying to move her around. Her shoulder freezes mid-shrug. It keeps yelling over me if I talk about something I'm not supposed to, she says, lowering her voice. But maybe if I speak carefully. Her chin drops to her chest. My family explores the world using special tools. The body stabs itself with its finger pointedly. But they tell me I'm too young to help, so I waited until everyone was sleeping and, the head lolls back on its neck, winking at the roof of the cavern. Are you an explorer too? I am, but not like you. Oh, for some reason I thought you were a champion of the wastes too. Damn it, did it again, didn't it? Just don't tell anyone what I am, alright? What can that construct do? Well, it's really hard to break. My mother, that's who usually controls it, once got stepped on by an adult earthshaker. It just stuck her in the ground like a nail. Woman flexes a massive bicep. Am I flexing? The girl says. I'm trying to flex. Anyway, it's incredibly strong. Punch holes in mountain strong. The arm flops back to her hip. And it's not really a construct. There's no metal inside. She has blood, bones, Perfect human expressions, not that you could tell from how I do it, the girl adds sourly. The woman's face grimaces along with her. Where'd you get it? I was born in a storm on a battlefield at night, the woman roars. Huh, girl says after a respectful silence. She really doesn't want me to tell you what I just tried to tell you. Can you tell me anything about where you got this construct? Seeds, the girl blurts. Oh, she let me say it, but I probably won't get away with more, sorry. What do your people explore? Our impenetrable forest in the Lost Valley is falling apart. I think we should just go out into the world for real, but no, my family is afraid. The finger on the woman's right hand wiggle as if they're playing an instrument. Her dead expression doesn't change, even as the girl's voice rises. I'm not, of course, but they won't even let me use this thing. I have to sneak around like a child. Who are you again? Farrah, champion of the waste, the older woman bellows. Sorry, I tried to say my real name again. Okay, that's pretty funny. Yeah, one of the things I dig about this game is you encounter these strange people, and for all I know, she has absolutely nothing to do with anything that I'm trying to do. She's just a random person that I encountered. But maybe not. I kind of want to... Hang on, I want to talk to this headless guy. I keep seeing him wandering around, and it might be nothing, but... And I'm guessing he can't talk, because he has no head, but... I mean, that's weird. He says Rolf. Okay. Let's see, we got Underbelly thugs. We've got people working here at the manufactory. We've got a mutant.
Let's go.
Manufacturing workers. I'll come back and check out the manufacturing later, maybe. Yeah, they mentioned that there were machines that were kind of giving orders or something. I don't really remember. But okay, so we've got Michela here. We've got the Meatmonger. This is to the Dendra Hall O'Hare Chapel, which we do need to investigate too. Over here is Popper. Over here is Folsom, who's the leader of the thugs. I kind of want to talk to him last because there's a chance I might just get killed. But let's see what these other people have to say. Michela. In a stall filled with all manner of dusty parts, connectors, and strange devices, a woman tinkers with a half-assembled power source, peering at it through spectacles that have several adjustable lenses. Her long white hair is disheveled, and the skin of her thin frame is marked with small scars and burns. She looks up curiously as you approach. Welcome to Michela's Mechanicals. I got a bunch of broken stuff and a few things that work. You want any of it, let me know. Okay. Where to get your stock? Trade mostly. Your friend Alliger in there brings me things now and then. Hello, priest. He nods. Kurt, Michela. I get stuff from Little Math too, though sometimes his stuff's too hot to touch. Even a few things from the Stitcha, if you can believe it. Trade with the Stitcha? Now and then, they dig up all kinds of things in those tunnels of theirs. Picky about what they trade for, though. Only want things that'll hold a lightning charge, flash packs, generators, that kind of thing. Her brow furrows, which is weird now that I think about it, because their eggs hold a charge, like little batteries they are. I've even converted a few of them to power things, though don't tell the Stitch of that. Be like using a baby for firewood in their eyes. Do you know a woman named Makina, pale skin, hard looks? Oh, I know that one. Carked and twitchy. Asked me to ken the workings of some weird old device she had, obsessed with it, like it was a bit of sniff and she a slave to it, never seen the like. Near to killed me when I couldn't make it work for her. She frowns, remembering. I'd have been mad, except I saw how sick she was with it. Shaking tears, the whole lot. Sent her on her way and wished her luck. She'll need it, poor thing. Let me see what you have for sale. Let's see. Yeah, it does look like she's just got some odds and ends. Let's see. A Abertall leather jerkin, which would give me one more point of resistance. A root spike cipher, it's like a one-shot damage. Furtive Eidolon cipher confers the furtive Eidolon on stealth tasks and automatically attempt to hide as a free action at the end of a turn. Lasts for 5 rounds. A sting charge. It's a light range weapon. I am looking for a one-handed weapon, and I can't afford this, but I would assume that that light weapon means it's one hand. Prong device generates and projects a short-range, powerful burst of electrical power at targets. It has been cleverly modified to fit onto a human arm and rest comfortably in your hands. Okay, so this is definitely small enough that I could use it. A buzzer, which is another light ranged weapon, which is actually cheaper. Okay, I might just go ahead and take that. Crossbow, Berserker's Voice, a bonded item. Gives you +1 training level in Intimidation. Let's go ahead and pick up the buzzer. And we'll go ahead and equip it.
Good balance.
And I really want a shield because he has benefits when he gets bonus evasion when he's got a shield equipped. So I still don't know if I need to save this or if I need this for something. I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. I'm sure I'll come back later and I'll need it, but for now, let's just keep it for the money. And I wish I knew what resistance did. I guess it couldn't hurt to have something a little bit better. So let's go ahead and buy this as well. Equip that. And then you've got something better, right? Yeah. So let's go ahead and sell this. Okay. Alrighty.
Yes.
Okay, who else do we have? We've got some paupers, some paranoid people, a mapper. Yeah, they told me to talk to Mapper and to the Meatmonger. Let's talk to Meatmonger first. Fresh meat, watch it grow before your eyes. That's a short, solid man stands behind a smoking grill, turning pieces of meat with a pair of grimy tongs. Sweat is pouring down his grizzled face, yet he's covered head to toe in grease-splattered clothes. His sleeves are tight at the wrists, and his collar pinches at his neck. Nearby are 3 large vats that are filled with living meat, great amorphous masses of it, with appendages growing from them like limbs of an animal drowning in a meat swamp. Ugh. The first vat is filled with thick, throbbing muscles, red and raw. The second is a flapping monstrosity of leathery wings, and the third sprouts hundreds of lac tails, all wiggling obscenely. The cook looks up from his work and gives you a sweaty smile. Hey ho, I'm Mook the Meatmonger. What do you have? Manth paused so that I should pay you a visit. Good old Manth. He'll get a shin for that next time I see him. Maybe it'll keep him on the straight. What kind of meat do you sell? He laughs and bangs the grill with his tongs, making sizzling grease fly. 3 kinds, friend. Anine, Treble, and Lock. Right in those vats, actually. Want some? Looking for a jack named Akina. Pale skin, hard looks, wears a hood. Know her well. Buys from me all the time. Haven't seen her in a while, though. Might ask Mapper over there by the shanties. He'll be the one with the maps on his skin. Keeps track of everybody. Never seen meat grown in a vat before. How does that work? How? Couldn't tell you. Found a little doodad back when I was a butcher, and I'd fiddle with it all day long, kind of like I do now with my tongs. So one day I was fiddling with this thing while cutting up a carcass, and it kept growing back its missing parts. Cut the tail off, and there it was again a moment later. Crazy, right? But it gave me an idea. I could open a little grill with no overhead, and it worked. Been cooking the same 3 hunks of flesh for years now. Can you use the doodad on yourself? Funny you should ask. Not long after I found I cut myself pretty good. Thought I'd try the doodad to close up the wound. Well, it worked, but then I started growing toes all over my body. Didn't care for all that at all, so I never did it again. Still trying to get rid of the toes. Did you say you have toes growing all over your body? Hey, we all got our problems, and I got it better than most around here. Ain't my fault anyway. Well, I guess it's a little bit of my fault. Why are you all bundled up like that? On account of the toes. Nobody wants to see a man with toes growing all over his body, especially if he's cooking their food. Not even people in the underbelly got strong enough stomachs for that. Oi. Yeah, I don't think I want to buy any meat. I'm sorry.
Alright.
That's horrible. Okay, let's go talk to Mapper down here. From a distance, it looks as if this mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit of finely patterned lines in a white, yellow, and pale blue. On closer examination, it becomes apparent that these are tattoos, and they cover nearly the entirety of his body, even his shaved head. His actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they've seen hard use. He is studying the meaningless swirls and whorls on his arm, and mouthing the names that mean nothing to you. Solvi, Belent, Urgau, Tentries. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines at its center, and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. He smiles as you approach, a broad, beaming grin that says he considers you a friend already. I'm Mapper, he says, extending a hand. I've been everywhere around here. I've found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten. Met all sorts of people, he frowns. I can't say I cared much for some of them. It's true. Voice as fast, insistent, incisive. Still, I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out, and sometimes they flare up. I want to link them together. I want to be a bridge. You say you want to be a bridge. How do you even do that? He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. I travel. I see places. I map them out on my skin. And maybe inside me. I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look, and they've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head. The lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places. I need to know that I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. That's interesting. Where did you get all those tattoos? These are not tattoos. They're maps. He exposes a shining grin. Maps of places I've been or heard of. He covers the artificial eye with his hand and says, if I look at my skin like this, it's meaningless. Then he uncovers it and says, but look at it like this. Suddenly, I see the map springing up off my skin. I focus on it, it all becomes clear. Buildings, people, smells, even a route to get here. It's worthless to anyone else, of course, without me to interpret the map. It's a combination of my mutation in the lens. Finding the eyepiece was the best part of being born like this. He sighs contentedly. It made me feel like my life made sense at last, and that, my friend, is far more luck than anyone deserves. Where have you been? It's probably easier to ask where I haven't been. All over the Sage's Protectorate, the oasis of Murad Jolios, Valley of Dead Heroes, Colne Village, the ruins of Archopelagia, and all around the Black Cube, Tower of Birds, where the third loss fell, even up past the Clock of Kala to Vralk. As he speaks, the lines of his body shift and move, coming into prominence with the words. Every place was a treat and experience. Did you know that most people never go more than 50 kilometers from the village of their birth, if that? I've been tremendously lucky, my friend. He smiles down at the maps. Then he looks back at you and says more quietly, if you plan to travel, I'd avoid the grasslands, though. The birds will take your meat for their meals and your bones for their nests. Okay. And I'm looking for a woman named Michela. Do you know where I can find her? Michela, the White Death? I've heard of her, and I know where she hides, too. He grins wide, exposing a mouth of extraordinarily white and clean teeth. I can tell you where she is, but I hate to say it comes with a price. Much as I love to talk about my travels, I need to finish a patch of my Sage's Cliffs map, and I need bragging rights for the next time I see the navigators. He shrugs. Also, she might not be happy I told. But I might be able to help you find it, for a trade, of course. Have you ever heard of the changing god, savior of the sage cliffs in times past and so forth? They say he had a sanctuary under the city, a place he used to retreat to and plan the future while he thought on his past. You know, making possibility maps. That sanctuary is the one important place I haven't seen in Sage's Cliffs, and I need to fill it in my map. And I need it to fill in my map. As far as I can tell, it's not far past the Stitchelair. Problem I'm having is that I just can't make sense of their language. Maybe you can talk to them. He shrugs disarmingly. It's a hell of a price, I know, but there it is. You want to find Michela, you'll find the sanctuary for me. Is there some other way to the sanctuary besides the Stitchelair? He sighs, exasperated. There must be. Changing God wasn't the kind of person who'd put just one entrance into the place. But I haven't been able to find the back door for the life of me. Yeah, sure. I'll be back when I found it.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what this place is here.
Now.
What is this thing? And can I click on it? A dark sphere inhabits almost every socket in this obelisk that stretches towards the cavernous ceiling. No one else seems to be paying the odd structure any attention. Like most Numenera, it's simply here, and if it can't be used, it's treated as part of the scenery. The orbs gleam in the dim light. You lean towards them. Are they glass, jewels, eyes? A flicker from one of the orbs above you catches your eye. You look up just in time to see the image of a woman leaning towards the surface of the glass from the inside. Touch the nearest sphere? Your finger barely grazes the glass before it displays the image of a furred creature touching the surface from the other side. Purple vines threaded with veins of light hang from the branches of the trees behind it. You lift your fingertip and darkness swallows the creature. The orb is opaque once more. The orbs appear to reflect whatever action is performed in front of them. Interesting. So hum a little song. Nothing appears in any of the dark orbs. Instead, the whisper of many voices joined in song curls from the obelisk, so low that only you can hear it. Let's just leave it alone. Interesting. Okay, so... Okay, let's
go.
I've been putting this off, but let's go ahead and talk to, Folsom down here. The man towers over you, enormously fat and draped in gaudy robes. His expression is calm, stern even, as he regards the bloody mess spread across the floor and wall. The hooded figures on either side of him tense as you approach. He turns to inspect you, eyebrow lifted, and raises his hand. His bodyguards relax, watching to you. In the space of a second, his eyes flick over you. He nods, apparently to himself, as if your presence has confirmed something he expected. What are you doing in the Underbelly, Falling Star? I'm looking for someone. Are you? He says. I know everyone in the Underbelly, and I'm seeking someone as well. Perhaps we can help each other. He turns his back on you, staring down at the vast pool of blood. This is all that remains of Weedle, one of my protégés. I had hopes for him. Now they will never be realized. The Underbelly is poorer without him. The rage beneath his voice cuts each word shorter and shorter. Bring me any information you find. Help me discover the identity of his killer, and you will be rewarded. He exhales sharply and turns around. The fury you glimpsed in him is buried once more.
That.
There is an assassin named Michela. She is known as the White Death. I have helped her find work in the past, but she has become erratic. If she is not involved, she might know who is. If you wish to help in this matter, ask her what she knows. The creature named Mapper may know where he is. I've already met Mapper. I'll find out. You can count on me. I'm not promising anything. Boy, I don't like any of these answers. I don't want to promise him anything, but I don't want to... Yeah, I'm not promising anything. Wise choice, only fools promise results. Do you have any ideas about the killer's motive? I have suspicions, and I have enemies. It takes no imagination to conclude this was meant to hurt me. But the killer did not slit Weedle's throat and leave him for me to find. No, they spilled an ocean of his blood and scrawled nonsense on the walls. If this is a message for me, I cannot interpret it. Want to examine the murder scene behind you. At first, Folsom doesn't respond. He merely stares down at you. Through you. I will not have you trample through his blood without cause, so there better be one. I know you're grieving for your protege. All I want is to catch his killer. Or the murderer may have left behind evidence. I won't know unless you let me look. Let's do that. He casts a doubtful glance behind him, pauses, then nods. Blue tide rises. Let him pass when he's ready, he tells the hooded figures at his side. They incline their heads. Folsom seems like a strange name for you. Yes, the big man says. The name was a gift and somewhat of witticism from my departed mentor many years ago. Before long, the name was the only one I was known by. Okay. So let's take a look at this.
Now.
I hadn't actually meant to walk through it, but not much remains of Folsom's former protege beyond a vast, still pool of blood with a skinned hand at its center. A bloody circle is scrawled on the wall nearby. Let's examine the circle. It is immediately clear that the dashes and bleeding pinpricks decorating the circle are not random. This is a symbol drawn with careful intent. Unfortunately, means nothing to you. Before you can look away from the circle, a memory bulges painfully through your thoughts, and the memory isn't yours. Surrender to the memory no matter how much it hurts. Fresh blood streams over the circle, yanking you through the hollow at its center into the world beyond. A strip of blistered land coils through a void as black as a gaping mouth. The air is thick, foul, and textured with the slickness of maggots. Nausea slams into you, filling your head, infecting your thoughts. Ugh. You shove the horrific memory away from you, slamming your mind shut like a door and swallowing the knot of nausea in your throat. After seeing that world, the bloody pool at your feet seems almost mundane. Gain 2 XP, take 2 damage. Let's inspect the hand. A flayed hand with long, slender fingers lies palm up at the center of the pool of blood. The rest of the victim is missing.
Updated my journal.
Okay, that was disturbing.
Go.
Okay, so alright, we've got some quests. So we're looking for Michela. I need to find a book. The murder is loose. And need to find a victim at Dendro Hero Chapel. So
fine.
I think we are going to come up here to the Dendro Hero Chapel. No, not there. Back around over here to the Dendro Hero Chapel. And that is where we will go next time. Oh, actually, wait, there's more here. Levy, Perli. What is this? Oh, these are the yeah. We should probably talk to these guys as well. Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and talk to these guys here. Who are these? Who's this? This violet-skinned visitant paces back and forth before the cavern's opening. It wears fine clothes to serve to accentuate the tall, thin crest on its head. A symbol has been painted on the crest mirroring the insignia marked on its chest. Its clothes are finely tailored and well made. The name of the creature's race crawls to your mind. It is a Vargellan. This one has temporarily chosen to be female. Her bulbous eyes flash quickly around her surroundings before focusing directly on you. Your pardon, her voice is high and fluting. This place isn't safe. Do you want something of me? I was wondering what you're doing here. I am conducting a diplomatic negotiation on behalf of the city. Unfortunately, I am not dealing with a reasonable species. Her crest flutters irritably. I have made no progress at all. Days wasted in this miserable tunnel, and I have nothing to show my superiors. Maybe I can help. You carry yourself with poise and confidence. I've learned to be a judge of such things. Perhaps you would be a skilled negotiator, but that isn't what I need. Circumstances call for a new tactic. If you truly think you can help, let's put it to the test. She waves off the levies who flank her. Her gestures are short and choppy, sharp and irritated. It's these damn Sticha. I speak to them, I offer, cajole, negotiate, and threaten, yet they persist in their digging, and every day another house in the cliffs above slips into the sea. If their digging does not cease, the city itself may crumble. So here's my request. Find a way into their deepest tunnels, remove their precious eggs, and return them to me. These hostages to their future shall ensure the future of the city above. I trust your discretion. Between the two of us, the amount of energy a single Stichus egg generates is remarkably high. Profit hides within each. Bring me all the eggs, and I will split the proceeds with you. If you can negotiate a lasting settlement that does not require such a drastic measures, you may pursue that message, but I have been trying for days with no success.
Making a note.
I will help. Good, we need to stop the Sticha before they bring down the entire substructure of the city. She pauses and lowers her voice. If you manage to infiltrate their lair, be sure to acquire all their eggs. I suspect they will have multiple clusters, and we will need them all if we want to negotiate from a position of strength. She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside. Once you're in their lair, activate this. It will show you all the tunnels, the egg clusters, the Sticha themselves. Better to know what you face before you charge ahead. How can I reach the Sticha lair? If I knew, I'd go there myself. The Sticha are quick to dispatch intruders, and I doubt they would take humans or Vargellans there of their own accord. Perhaps a construct of some sort or a digging machine, but I know little of fabrication or manufacturing, so I'll leave that to you. What can you tell me about them? Filthy animals, scuttering insects, who can say if they're even sentient? First and foremost, they dig, and then they care nothing for the homes they destabilize or the lives that are lost when their buildings collapse. They do not speak the truth reliably, so we cannot know if they understand the damage they cause, though I suspect they do. Okay. Well, if that's true, then this will be a short conversation. This massive creature looms over you. A scent like lightning and an underground cavern washes over you, and it reminds you that nothing so much as curiosity. Reminds you of nothing so much as curiosity. It chitters and rumbles, waving its large claws through an expressive dance. Something about these smells, sounds, and gestures seems familiar, a niggling itch at the back of your mind. At least you remember the taxonomy now. This is a Stichus, a huge burrowing insectoid. It points to itself and says, "Chekekt." It follows with another stream of high-pitched noise. I've come to ask you to stop digging. Chekekt waves its arms around, and air fills with the scent of slow-growing fungus. You think it says, "Why?" More incomprehensible chittering follows, and then it speaks slowly and carefully. You not learn us speech, not work us? No, not now, we dig. What do you think of Belial? The Stichus seems discombobulated for a moment. Who? Then it thinks a little more. Then it sprays out a blast of pheromones, and you smell the sharp tang of acid and weakened stone. It smells like distrust. Huh. Can you tell me about the Sticha? Scrabbles briefly at the wall, and a bit of lightning flares about the crown of antenna on its head. Its shoulders shrug, and you smell dust. You dig under the city, right? Can you take me someplace? Over the scent of warm gravel, the Stichus clicks and whistles. You understand the words yes and shins. You almost have a sense of the language, the structure, the feel, the sound, and the scent. The itch in your mind intensifies. You can feel the memory of the Stichus language waiting to reveal itself. Let's see if we can remember how to speak this. So I don't have animesis, but I do have intellect. So 40%, 40%, 60%. Yeah, let's see if we can remember it. Hey, we can. Your mind blurs, a memory racing up from forgotten depths. You see yourself interacting with the Stichus, the two of you patiently exchanging hand signals, a small box between the two of you translating your words and thoughts. Each time it conveys a thought or concept, the device sends a stimulus into the appropriate parts of your brain and electricity into your limbs, making you a marionette. Your muscles twitch in sympathy with these memories, and you realize that the Steech's tongue is a jumble of scent, movement, and sounds. With the memory, information pours into your mind as if a plug has been removed. The smell of granite fills your nose. As you return to normal consciousness, Keek leans forward. Keek smells granite, knowledge. It rumbles. Its spiracles vent a minuscule trace of gas. The Steechus looks at you, and its body posture and slight movements indicate a question. Does human speak Steechus? Your muscles remember, and you twitch the proper response. Keek huffs the scent of lightning. Never speak Keek to human so. Heard memory from elder, not believe. Human almost sentient, imagine. Grub think like Steechus. Speak smart, better now. Come to ask you to stop taking underneath the city. Why? Where we go? Give us reason to stop. Do you want your people to have a future? Do you want a war with the humans above that they will collapse your tunnels, they will destroy you? Or, humans above are suffering. You can move deeper beneath the city. How about that? When humans dig, they care for us? No, why we care for them? Can we move deeper? Have been. Rock not good. Soft not efficient. Electric not strong. It leans back. What else? Do you want your people to have a future? Do you want war with humans above? They will collapse your tunnels. They will destroy you. Ooh. Well, that's not very persuasive, but let's go ahead and try it. Hey. It considers your words for a time, and scents that surround it vary from frightening to the mundane. At last, the smell of synth and strong glass waft past your nose, and Keek says, "Human give good reason." Yes, Steecha complied. Scratches the wall and drums a pattern there. Steecha move deeper, burrow to lesser rock. Starve for human's sake. Not fight with humans is better. Cool. Doesn't look like they're leaving, but maybe they are.
I'm going.
Anyway, we will follow up on this next time, and we will head over to the Dinger O'Her Chapel, and then maybe we'll talk to the Steecha about seeing if they can take us to the lair, and we can find Michela and find out what's how we can fix that resonance chamber. But yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.